See why we're where Atlanta speaks.
Atlanta roads are my thing. ITP, OTP, Ponce, Piedmont, all the peach trees. Combined with Chesley's street level forecast, that's a lot of tech and experience to help your commute.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11 Alive.
We're quite the combo.
The President of the United States was accusing you of voter fraud.
Oh, I know it, and I knew it wasn't fraud.
Mr. James Blaylock voted in the election, the president's campaign tweeted. The only problem, he passed away 14 years ago. False. James Blaylock did not vote. Mrs. James Blaylock voted. After our investigation, national news outlets owned up to their false claims, and the president's campaign deleted the tweet.
Weather changes can make or break your day. That's why the 11 Alive Storm Trackers are always watching what's coming next, delivering accessible and accurate forecasts that prepare you, not scare you. The Storm Trackers, only on 11 Alive.
COVID-19 is still spreading in Georgia. Now get facts, not fear, at 11alive.com/COVID numbers. Track cases by county using our interactive map and get the latest health department data. Visit 11alive.com/COVID numbers.
A sign of relief across half the nation. The rest feeling devastation.
In Georgia, we can now focus on the 2 Senate races here that are still unresolved.
It's not over yet. You can still make history. The balance of power in Georgia voters' hands, whatever side you take, could determine the nation's fate. Your vote still matters. Stay involved, stay informed with journalism that gives you a real voice.
Breaking news, the hand tally of nearly 5 million votes is now complete.
Right now, no matter how you add it up, our cases are rising.
We do have a flash flood warning that just popped up here.
The hand retally, that's done. This is going to a recount, and the taxpayers will foot the bill for a third.
Now, at the Club for Growth, we're helping do this. We're going to knock on 1 million doors. We're going to send out 2 million texts. We're going to make 1 million phone calls. We're going to send out 5 million mail pieces. You'll probably get them. They're a little bit obnoxious. They basically say, hey, if you don't vote, your neighbors will know about it. So be sure and vote. But I have one thing I need to ask for all of you. I need not only to ask that you vote, I need to ask you, think about people at work, think about your family, your cousins, your aunts, your sisters, your children. Get them all to vote. Get them all to vote and vote Republican to save America. And then the rest of the country, we're going to come back here and say, thank you, Georgia, for saving our country and saving our freedom. We really, really need you to do that. So now our next speaker is somebody that I just totally admire. She's a neighboring congresswoman, just elected, has always been a fighter for freedom, especially the Second Amendment, but all of our freedoms. We are so excited that she's now in the United States Congress. Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Thank you so much, David. And I tell you what, Cobb County, I am so excited to see all of you out here this morning. I see a lot of faces I know and dearly love, and I just want to say thank you again for all your support in my campaign over the last year. And then I also want to say a huge heartfelt thank you to David and for the Save America tour. I know many of you, friends and family and fellow Georgians, we feel a huge responsibility right now. We're in a place we never thought we would be. We never thought that Georgia would be the one that is on the line, seriously on the line, to save America and stop socialism. And David just mentioned everything that we have at stake. If the Democrats win, if they win our seats, our 2 Senate seats, we're looking at drastic changes in America because the balance of control will be at stake. And we can't allow that to happen, Georgia. I know we're upset. We're upset about our election. We're upset about our election for President Trump. We all know for a fact that Joe Biden did not win Georgia. We know that Georgia re-elected President Donald J. Trump. Now, we've got 2 fights on our hands. One, while we're working hard to make sure that every legal ballot counts and all the illegal ballots are thrown out and the fraud is exposed. And we want to work hard to make sure that Georgia goes for President Trump. That's one fight that we're all fighting, right? But we have a second fight on our hands, and this one is so important. No matter how upset we are, no matter how concerned we are about our elections, we have to turn out strong for our senators, Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue. We have to vote for them and make sure that we hold our 2 Senate seats. So make sure you're talking to all of your friends, your neighbors, your co-workers, your family. Make sure that they're registered. Make sure that they vote. Early voting starts December 14th. Election day is January 5th. Make sure that we get in there and we get the job done, Republicans, because we aren't letting Georgia go blue. So I want to say thank you. I see all of you. You work very hard. You knock doors. You make phone calls. You show up at your events. All of you are the ones that make it happen. And so I know while we're up here and we're going to tour around and working hard to get people fired up, you people are the ones that matter. You see, this country is for the people, and we've got to make sure it stays that way. We've got to defend our freedoms, and that's what this Save America tour is all about. So I'm going to hand the microphone back over to David, and you're going to hear some more great speakers. God bless you guys. God bless America.
Thank you, Marjorie. She's going to be a fighter up there in Washington. They don't know what hit them yet, and we're so proud to have her there. You know, when I was a young man, I had the blessing of working for Ronald Reagan in his White House, and he was the great conservative leader at the time that stopped the Democrats from turning over our country to the Soviet Union. Donald Trump is his successor as a conservative who fought to make America great again. And Marjorie mentioned it. We are disappointed with what's been happening. But I want to tell you, there was a saying we used to have with President Reagan, and I think it applies to Donald Trump too. We got to go out and win this one for the Gipper. Remember that? Win this one for the Gipper. Win this one for Donald Trump. Show America that he's still our leader in the Republican Party and that we can win an election with his support. We have to win this one to vindicate Donald Trump. So help us do that. Go out and vote. Be sure and vote, as I would say, vote early and often, but we're going to say vote early on December 14th when the early voting starts. So our next speaker is a leader in Congress. He's been there representing Texas for many years. He's stood up for all of the things we believe in. Congressman Louis Goldberg.
Well, thank you. Of course, you know, my wife and I got our marriage start in a place called Columbus, Georgia. Y'all may have heard of it. And 4 glorious years serving at Fort Benning, and we made lifelong friends there. So I'm always looking for a reason to come back to Georgia. And I love being here, and I thank you for coming out. Because everybody that's here, well, except for maybe some of the media, you understand this is where the fight is. And we need President Trump as our president, but the fight to maintain control is for the Senate right here. And you've got all this money pouring in from California and New York trying to convince Georgians that what you've seen and what you know is not what you should believe. It's kind of like, say, just hypothetically, it's a wild hypothetical, but say somebody pulled suitcases of ballots out from under a table, just a hypothetical, and then told you you didn't really see that. You can't believe that, and if you try to put it on the social media, we're going to ban you because you can't believe your lying eyes. Well, we know what we know. And we know that there was cheating that went on. And what honest, law-abiding people like you understand is we beat cheating with law-abiding, rule-following efforts turning people out, doing the right thing. And we need Georgians to turn out and do that. Not because somebody in the media or movies, I mean, you've seen all the fundraising going on from people from Hollywood, different places. Now, we need Georgians to be Georgian. And I'm not specifically talking about Plains, Georgia. I'm talking about real Georgia. We need people being Georgians and stepping up the way I knew Georgia and the way I know Georgians are. So thank you for coming out today. We're thrilled that Marjorie is joining us in Congress. She is a huge, wonderful, she's not huge, but she's a great addition to Congress, and I'm already excited. She's been a vibrant part of Freedom Caucus meetings, and so we got good days ahead. Things are exciting. I'm excited about the new class of members coming in. They haven't been corrupted by the system because they are people of the people. And anyway, I really enjoyed the rally at Valdosta Saturday night. Many of you that saw that, and I was really interested the way the crowd started yelling, "Fight for Trump." It was like there's a message here. We're going to fight for you, but you better fight for the president. And I think they've got the message. We need them in the Senate. And I've had some people say, well, they're not as conservative as you. Well, we're working on them. But one thing we know for sure, if they're not reelected, then we have just hastened the demise of this little experiment in self-government. So this is a first step toward keeping our country. And just good old folks with loud mufflers going by, you know. So anyway, thank you for coming out. Thank you for all the doors you're going to knock on. Thank you for all the calls you're going to make, because we have got to get real Georgians, not the ones that are coming in from New York, but real Georgians to be Georgians and to elect David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler. And that will save this country. It gets us on the right track. So thank you very much. Love you guys. I found a good use for my mask. And anyway, thank y'all so much for being here. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Louis. Go fight. Thank you. What a great congressman. Yeah, Louis. We do. We love you, Louis. So we've been telling everybody in our ads that they can't steal an election if we all vote. So I'm going to start a little chant here. And I actually thank the media for coming. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. But I want them to record what we're going to say. In fact, if you help me out here, I want to shout so loud that they hear it down at the Capitol in Atlanta. Yeah, the way we win, we vote. How do we win? We vote. How do we win? We vote. Let me hear it again. How do we win? We vote. Yes. That's what we're going to do. We're going to vote and win so they can't stuff the ballot box with enough ballots to defeat our champions. I am so happy to introduce our next speaker. She has been a champion for freedom in Alaska as governor, for our party as the vice presidential nominee, speaking all over the country to help people get elected in the Tea Party movement, and supporting President Trump in his election. And now she's here. She's come all the way from Alaska to help us win this race. Let me give you Governor Sarah Palin.
Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. It's so good to be back in Georgia. Thank you. Oh, golly, I'm glad to get to be here and thaw out. It's this is summertime weather to me. Don't just take it for granted, Georgia. What a beautiful state. And thank you so much for caring and for being in the arena, for walking the walk, not just talking the talk about activism. You wouldn't be here if you weren't active in this mission, in this cause. And the cause is to save Georgia, to save the Senate, to save America. We do that by electing Kelly and David. Yeah, so much is at stake, and I know that you all know that. What's at stake is erosion of our inalienable rights, because the left doesn't care. The left ignores our Constitution and our Bill of Rights. If we, this go around, blow it and don't have the Senate, America will never be the same. It'll never be the same, and I fear that we won't recover if they are running the Senate. Not unless we all read your placard, 2 Chronicles, and we all ask God to heal our land. We ask him that anyway, even anticipating a victory, but asking God to heal our land, meaning not just geographically and geology-wise, but people-wise, heart-wise. Because I'm looking at one of the opponents in this race, and I'm asking, is this a representation of the Democrats' heart in Georgia to have a pro-abortion pastor who's running, evidently not understanding that God's greatest gift is the gift of life, and his most precious creation needs to be protected, not snuffed out. Yeah, that's right, that's right. It's all the more reason why we have those in the Senate, especially those representing Georgia, who understand the sanctity of life, who understand the need to protect our Second Amendment. And I know Georgia is known for that, for understanding what the Second Amendment is all about, and what the Second Amendment, if it were to be done away with, what would happen to our country. And I'm very thankful that thus far you have chosen the candidates, Kelly and David, who are so strong on the Second Amendment and just real strong on understanding our Constitution, so protecting our Constitution. If Kelly and David don't win, imagine the judicial confirmations that will make America suffer. Kelly and David both did the right thing in supporting Amy Coney Barrett. We're very thankful. There was no waffling on their part, unlike Senator from Alaska. I'm embarrassed about that. But Kelly and David, in fact, Kelly was the first one to publicly call for confirmation before the election. Wise gal. Before the election, the rigged election, and I know that's for a whole nother bus stop, but for a rigged election, she had great foresight, and thankfully, her public call for that confirmation, it did start more of a movement, more momentum to get this thing done, to get that confirmation. Can you imagine the judicial nominees and confirmation if she were not there, if David was not there? We're so thankful for them. And I want to speak on behalf of the rest of America. Georgia, we need you to not just show up January 5th, not just win, but to crush it. We need you to crush it and to send that message, the loudest message that we can, that no, we will not implement at all socialism in America. We will not watch that erosion of our inalienable rights. We will fight for what is right, and this fundamental transformation of America that they have promised to do. No, we don't need a fundamental transformation. We need that fundamental restoration of all that is good and strong and free about this country that has made the country the greatest nation on earth. We're going to keep making America great. And Georgia, it's in your hands. It's in your hands. The eyes of America, the eyes of the world are on Georgia, figuring out what it is that you all are going to do, and it is up to you. So thank you so much for being in the arena, for working so hard, knocking on those doors, supporting the right candidates. Get your friends, your neighbors, everyone you know to get involved. This